Okay, in this video I'm just going to quickly mention the single value boost limit. In the last video I was talking about the boost limiter and saying that the changes I'd made of 10% were borderline. They might be okay, they might not. And again, looking at the single value boost limit, which is here's the original value off the file. I've just taken a guess that 2.5 or 2500 is a reasonable figure to go for to give me plenty of clearance away from there, my 2.4 or 2419. And so I've used deliberately whatever figure here will give me that number. In other words, I've just said to myself, I want roughly an increase of from 2350 to 2500. What do I need? And the calculation is 1.064, so that's what I've used. So if I type another number in there instead of 1.064, obviously this will change. So if I type 1.1, what I'll get here is a 10% increase on that number, so it will go up by 23.5 instead. Now this obviously should be okay. 2500 there should be alright as a fixed limit. It's possible that 2350 will be okay, just like it's possible that 2420 will be okay there, even though I may be calling for very close on that there. In other words, I was using 2301 there, and so an overall limit of that one there, which is somewhere in the region of 2382, those sorts of figures, I might get away with those figures compared to the boost, and so it's almost possible to get away with 2350. But I'm erring on the side of caution here, whereas I didn't with this one, and I'm saying, well, I'll just jump straight to 2.5 and see what happens. I would consider going back to this and possibly making that 1.1 and 1.1 and this one 1.12. And I even made a note to myself when I was looking at this to say that's not a bad idea to actually just raise those a little bit to give myself a little bit more clearance. So it's possible we will need to do that, but that's something that you could consider doing yourself. And obviously anyone looking at these maps wouldn't be remapping this exact file, or at least I doubt they are. So you don't need my exact figures anyway, because you'll have your own figures, so you can put your own figures into Excel and then consider what you might do with them. All I'm doing is trying to give a clue as to roughly the sort of figures you might consider and why you might consider them, rather than to actually say these are the figures you should use. Right, now I'll stop there because obviously I've managed to jump from the smoke limit to boost limit, and now to single value boost limiter in a series of videos, and I've completely missed the torque limiter. So what I'll do is I'll stop now. I'll probably come back and look at the torque limiter